Federal government vows swift rescue of abducted Kebbi schoolgirls. Taraba political earthquake. Speaker, 15 lawmakers dump PDP for APC. Federal government targets 500 CNG stations in 3 years to slash petrol use. UN backs Trump's Gaza peace plan in landmark vote. Sesco sidelined. Man United striker out for 1 month. Now to the news in full. Nigeria's federal government has confirmed it is in security discussions with the United States following President Donald Trump's recent threat of possible military action over continued attacks on Christian communities by jihadist groups. Speaking in an interview in Abuja, Tuga noted that talks with Washington intensified after Trump revealed he had asked the Pentagon to explore potential military options in Nigeria. The U.S. president cited what he described as large-scale killings of Christians by radical Islamist groups, sparking renewed international interest in Nigeria's security landscape. The minister, however, stressed that Nigeria remains committed to sovereignty and partnership-based solutions, adding that expanded cooperation must align with national priorities and regional strategies. Foreign Affairs Minister Yusuf Tuga says both countries are reviewing areas of security collaboration, insisting the issues at stake affect global stability and not just Nigeria. The Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Edward, has paid a courtesy visit to President Bola Tinubu at the presidential villa in Abuja, as both countries continue to deepen diplomatic and economic relations. The visit comes on the heels of growing trade momentum between the United Kingdom and Nigeria. Recent figures from the UK-Nigeria Economic Growth Press Conference show bilateral trade now valued at £7.2 billion, with Nigeria ranked as the UK's second largest trading partner in Africa. British High Commissioner Richard Montgomery describes the partnership as vibrant, enduring, and multifaceted, noting that Nigeria remains the top African destination for UK exports. At the core of this expansion is the Enhanced Trade and Investment Partnership, ETIP, the UK's first and only bilateral trade and investment framework with an African nation. Signed in February 2024, the ETIP aligns with UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer's growth priorities and President Tinubu's 8-point economic agenda, both emphasizing job creation, economic reforms, and long-term investment. Prince Edward was accompanied by the British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Sir Richard Montgomery, while Nigeria's Finance Minister Wale Edun was also in attendance during the meeting held inside Aso Rock. The federal government says it is leaving no stone unturned in efforts to rescue students abducted from Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School, MAGA, in Danko Wasago local government area of Kebbi State. The minister quoted President Bola Tinubu as reaffirming that the protection of Nigerians, especially school children, remains a top priority of his administration. The government condemned the attack and the killing of school officials, describing the incident as reprehensible and unacceptable. Idris said the FG is intensifying internal security reforms, recalibrating military and policing capabilities, and improving intelligence response to prevent further attacks. He added that Nigeria is strengthening regional partnerships through ECOWAS, the African Union, and the Multinational Joint Task Force to secure borders and dismantle terrorist networks. The federal government says it remains firmly committed to ensuring the abducted girls are rescued and reunited with their families as efforts continue on all fronts. In a statement, the Minister of Information and Orientation, Mohammed Idris, said security and intelligence agencies have been given clear orders to locate the girls, secure their safe return, and bring the attackers to justice. Taraba State has witnessed a major political shakeup as Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Right Honorable John Kizito Bonzina, has defected from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress, leading 15 lawmakers along with him. The defectors include Deputy Speaker Haman Adama Abdullahi, Majority Leader Jethro Yakubu, and lawmakers Tafaki Eneme, Akila Nuhu, Musa Chul, Josiah Yaro, Tanko Yusuf, Veronica Al-Hassan, Anas Shraibu, Nelson Len, Umar Adamu, Joseph Kasong, John Lamba, Happy Shomruba, and Zakari Sanusi. Speaking on the development, Speaker Bonzina said the move became necessary due to lingering disunity and leadership crisis within the PDP at the national level. He described the switch to the APC as a new political dawn for Taraba and called on citizens to support the ruling party in driving development across the state. The mass defection gives the APC full dominance of the 24-member assembly, with key principal officers, including the deputy speaker and majority leader, dumping the PDP in what analysts describe as a decisive shift in the state's political alignment. You're watching our daily news roundup. We'll go for a short break. When we return, more news stories on the business front.
Every year, millions of lives are stolen, dreams cut short, futures traded in silence. Human trafficking is a modern-day slavery. It hides in plain sight, tearing families apart and trapping the vulnerable in fear. But together we can end it. Together we can protect, we can rescue, and we can give hope. Say no to exploitation. Say no to slavery. Say no to human trafficking. Powered by Atlantic Media and TV.
Welcome back. The federal government has unveiled plans to build 500 compressed natural gas refueling stations nationwide within the next 3 years, in a major push to reduce petrol dependence and strengthen Nigeria's shift to cleaner, cheaper fuels. In a statement released on Sunday, MDGRF Executive Director Oluwole Adama said the partnership would accelerate access to CNG across the country, supporting President Bola Tinubu's ongoing gas transition agenda. Officials say the initiative is a cornerstone of the presidential CNG initiative aimed at reducing reliance on petrol and diesel, especially after the removal of fuel subsidy. Senior Special Advisor to the President, Oluwatoyin Sube, added that the project aligns with the administration's goal of stabilizing transport costs and boosting energy security. Endurance Group CEO Eric Lin said the SPV will build a nationwide refueling, maintenance, and logistics ecosystem using strategically located mother stations to supply underserved northern routes and high-demand southern hubs. When completed, the 500-station network is expected to deepen access to gas-powered transportation, cut fuel import pressure, and enhance Nigeria's clean energy transition. The project follows the conclusion of talks between the Midstream and Downstream Gas Infrastructure Fund and Chinese manufacturer Endurance Group, which will now form a government-backed special-purpose vehicle with the Bank of Industry and Secure Investment partners to drive the rollout. Nigeria's headline inflation has slowed for the 7th consecutive month, dropping to 16.05% in October 2025 from 18.02% in September. According to the NBS report, year-on-year inflation fell sharply, standing 17.82%, lower than the rate recorded in October 2024, which was 33.88%. On a month-to-month measure, inflation rose slightly to 0.93%, up from 0.72% in September 2025. Food inflation also showed major improvement, averaging 13.12% year-on-year, a significant drop of 26.04 percentage points compared to October last year. The Bureau says the downward trend in annual food inflation is largely due to the updated base year for calculations. Fresh figures released by the National Bureau of Statistics show a 1.96% decline, with officials attributing the continued easing of inflation to improved market stability and a change in the base year. Away from the business front, now to the foreign scene. The United Nations Security Council has endorsed a United States-backed proposal by President Donald Trump for a new Gaza peace framework, a plan centered on deploying an international peacekeeping force and setting a pathway towards Palestinian statehood. Following the vote, Donald Trump celebrated the approval online, calling it a historic endorsement of its so-called Board of Peace, which he claims will help deliver global stability. U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Mike Watts, also welcomed the decision, saying the Security Council has taken a crucial step towards building a peaceful and prosperous Gaza while guaranteeing lasting security for Israel. The proposal outlines the deployment of a multinational peacekeeping mission, phased reconstruction, and political reforms that would pave the way for a future Palestinian state. The resolution, which passed with 13 votes in favor and 2 abstentions from Russia and China, has been described as one of the most decisive UN positions on Gaza in recent years. No member exercised veto power. Away from that, now to sports news. Manchester United have been dealt a fresh blow as striker Benjamin Sesko has been ruled out for at least 1 month following a knee injury sustained in the Premier League clash against Tottenham Hotspur. In a statement, the club said initial medical checks showed the striker picked up the injury late in the Spurs encounter, with further assessments now underway. Sesko, who joined Manchester United from RB Leipzig in an £85 million deal, has quickly become an important figure in Erik ten Hag's front line. The manager and fans will be monitoring his progress closely, with more updates expected in the coming days as the team prepares for crucial fixtures without him. For now, United will have to adjust the attacking options as Sesko begins his road to recovery. Reports confirmed the development on Monday, reporting that the Slovenian forward will undergo rest and rehabilitation before returning to full fitness, a setback United hope will not derail the attacking momentum this season. A major boxing spectacle is on the horizon as former heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua is now confirmed to face YouTuber turned boxer Jake Paul in a professional bout scheduled for Miami. The upcoming clash is set for 8 rounds of 3 minutes, officially replacing Paul's cancelled exhibition fight with lightweight star Gervonta Davis. Promoters say the fight is expected to draw massive global attention as Joshua seeks a comeback moment, while Paul continues his controversial rise in the professional boxing ranks. Fans worldwide are already reacting sharply, with analysts calling it one of the most unexpected yet commercially explosive matchups of the year. Both fighters are expected to begin full training camp in the coming weeks, with ticket sales and broadcast details to be announced soon. The announcement comes months after Paul shocked the world with his victory over heavyweight legend Mike Tyson in Texas back in November 2024. Joshua, meanwhile, has not fought since his September 2024 IBF title loss to Daniel Dubious at Wembley. And with that sports news, we come to the end of our daily news roundup for today, right here on Atlantic TV. Do also follow us on all our social media platforms for more news stories and headline updates. Thank you so much for watching. I am Nkechi Tejere. Have a good day.